Okay. And now we're recording again so you can make more terrible GIFs. Rude. All right. So I'm just going to test, make sure this thing works, and then we'll bring in some more fun stuff. All right. So I've got a shotgun. No, that's for everything. Yeah. But oh, someone just fired me right off. Switch to something else that doesn't. Oh. Yep. Hey, you know what? I didn't put any help in here. I should make this tent actually like work for me too.
Oh, he's bad at video games.
Oh, all right. Well, now I'm gonna get. Wow. I also said, hey, you guys should add a health bar, and then I didn't. So. All right. Anyway, so I've got weapons. All my bullets have sounds on them, which is fun. We'll do that in just a sec. And we've got probably too many enemies at this point. But when you're firing a skull that has skull particles, it should scream. This makes sense. All right. So I left a link on the Discord that we can go check out. And I'm going to play with this first. So we're going to get to cameras, but this was just something fun I had to do. So this is a cool little free asset, tower defense cannon. So naturally, I said that looks neat. We have to do something with it. So I've already downloaded it. I've got it sitting here under. I've got way too much stuff in here at this point. Tower defense and prefabs. And I've got this tower here. Huh? This is the turret now. Yes, we're gonna. We'd started doing some turrets. Yeah, but this is just gonna work nicely. All right. Yeah. No, I reserve the right to completely mess up everything at any time. I will make this static. Okay, and then we'll look at a little feature of that, and then but the rotator I don't want to be static, so I'm gonna change that. But this being static means if I rebake, then my nav mesh guys should go around it and not try to go in it. So let me go try and find my window here. AI, I'm still using the obsolete one because I'm terrible, and I'll just rebake. Now you can see we've got this edge around here, so bad guys won't clip through the tower or try to walk through it or get stuck on it. So if anything marked static in your world should get baked around. I just chose this arbitrary spot. We've got this guy. I'm going to, where am I going to start? We'll come back to this actually. At what point did I say criticize me? Yes, he's facing the wrong way. We're going to fix that. That's the first thing we're going to fix. But I'm going to show a couple ways to do that, and we'll just do that simply here. And so I've got a couple things we can do. I'm going to drag in some prefabs here. So I've got a treasure chest simple. So I'm going to set this guy up here. And it's just the high poly one, so it's not super goofy. And swapping out low res ones when we're too distant. and then this guy. And so we're gonna look at a couple different ways to make stuff look at the player, which is really fun. So for this one over here, I'm gonna go ahead and add a script to it. So go back to my inspector. We're gonna make a new script. Just call it look at target, because apparently I already wrote one called look at player. I'm gonna open my whole thing. Yes, all right, I can copy from myself. I mean, yeah. All right, so look at target, and so I'm just gonna steal some code from myself over here. You saw nothing. Writing brand new code here. It's wonderful. All right, so all I need really is I need a public or serialized field target for it to look at, and on update, I've got this cool transform.LookAt. It's a really, really cool feature, and I don't even need this at this point. So there's some overrides for it. So this literally on every frame is going to rotate. It's not a camera at this point. So that it keeps looking at the target. So it's just going to look at the target. Down the Z. Same way we're using our firing, right? So Y's up, and then look at on whatever this object is on, this script. Look at means the positive Z axis. So we'll put that on there and we'll see what this guy's doing. This can be really cool if you want full 360-degree rotation. That's what we're going to get. So it's this far treasure chest floating above that guy. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I didn't tell what player was. Yeah. It's not rotating because I said, look at me, and then I didn't say who me was. So it's looking for a target. I'm just going to drag player over here. The cool thing is you can make this look at anything. So you can have NPCs who just look at each other and follow each other around, whatever. But again, this is going to rotate on all three axes. So from a distance, it doesn't look that bad. Get up close, you can see that it's menacingly following us. It's just basically saying, "Where's the key at?" I guess I don't know. But as we jump around, like it'll do weird things. It'll just look everywhere. But that's a simple script, and I will do something else with the other treasure chest, which is probably more what I'm going to do with the cannon. We'll play with them both. So this other treasure chest here, I don't even need a script. Matthew, we didn't cover this last year. So I'm going to add a component just called aim constraint. Yeah. You play with this? It's super cool. All right. So aim constraint is a thing, and it just works. So this is another script that Unity made as a component. Yeah. Yeah, it exists. It exists. I was doing the same thing. I was looking at this morning. I was like, what's something I can do to not rotate on all the axes? And then I found this, and I was like, oh, that's great. Thank you. All right. Yeah, so you can code it. Or here's what we're going to do. So the aim constraint by default is looking for sources, and we can give it a ton of sources and give them all weights, and it'll follow this one, more than the other one, whatever. I'm just going to give it one. So I'm going to add a source here. And again, I'm going to drag the player in as the transform, so it's going to follow that. And I only want this to rotate on the y-axis. Okay, I don't want it looking up and down and doing all that weird jumpy stuff. Just face the lock toward me, but maintain your position. So what's weird is I only want this to move on the y-axis, so that's the one I'm going to say freeze. I do need to activate it quickly, so do that. so it's looking at the target that I gave it, which is right across from it at this point. So it's pretty good. I think it spun around almost a full 180 to look at us. I did have to activate that. And that should be it, honestly. It's locked. We're only moving on the Y. Let's try this out. So that works. So it's only rotating on the Y-axis, but it's still tracking me. It's not doing that goofy like what this guy's doing. So if you had like a drone camera or something, then LookAt would be perfect, right? Imagine it could move all over the place. But what I want to do with this turret is just to rotate it on the Y. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go grab this turret again. We experimented with smaller objects. Now let's do something ridiculous. So I'm going to, again, add the aim constraint, and then we'll change it to a LookAt here in a minute just to see what else it does. We'll give it the source as the player. Only want that, and we'll just activate really quick. Zero it. All right, so now it's pointing right at us when I hit 0 and activate. And I'm going to unlock and just zero these back out. So I want that on 0, so it's not looking all goofy. I think it's fine on the, see, so we're 0, 0. It's pointing at us. I'm going to go ahead and lock it. Hopefully I did all the steps. I should probably get rid of those other guys so that they don't kill me while I'm just trying to check to see if this camera's tracking me. Yeah, it looks like it's tracking. Yeah. Just rotating on Y. All right. Luckily, I've already written a good script for this. So I'm just going to put the same script that we put on our boss onto our cannon. So I'm just going to put the cannon here. I think we called it boss enemy fire. And I need to give it its muzzle point. So I'm just going to add a empty. Call it shooty. All right, so I'm going to move this guy up. So firing from here. I didn't put any constraints or any colliders on this yet, but I'm not even sure if that's hollow inside. I guess we could start it inside. See if it doesn't break anything. All right, so shooty is our muzzle point. Bullet force should be like 1,000. We'll leave the rest of that on. And I'm going to try a new prefab. That I'm playing with, so I'm going to give it this bomb prefab for the bullet. Let's double check that. So this bomb has a sphere collider and a rigid body. I've got gravity on so that it'll lob it. And then I'll show you what I did with all my other bullets. I'm just going to add an audio source to the bullet prefab. And then by default, it does exactly what I want. It'll play on awake and not loop. So I just want to fire this sound off once. So just go look for a good clip. Nothing called boom. Fire? Sure, we got some things called fire. Blaster fire for a cannon. Why not? Oh, wait, what's this one do? rimfire, firearms. Why not? Fire, handgun, whatever. Now that I lost it. Okay, it's in here somewhere. We'll start over. Assault rifle. At this point, we don't care. We'll use it. All right, so I'm going to come back here to my bullet. We'll just drag this guy over. We'll scroll down a bunch. Then we'll just drag this guy over. And there's our clip. So every time one of these gets instantiated, it'll just play a sound once. One shot, easy peasy. Sick beat. I must not have given that enough force. You know what? The rolling bombs is kind of cool. Just tracking me. Firing. Yeah, we could do that later. And then what happened? Okay, we'll just up that. All right, so that's it with the aim constraints on it. Okay, so it's only rotating on the Y, which makes sense for a cannon. So for something like this, it's good. For a more dynamic turret, then we could just take this, turn this off, and add that look at target script that we did. Now it'll break all kinds of laws of physics and everything else because, yeah, it'll just clip through stuff. It'll fire. Really see it get closer. If it'll let us get closer. Yeah, it's like clipping down through there. It's firing straight down at me. So it's more dangerous, but maybe not more realistic. I think I just accidentally jumped off of a cannon, so that's fine. Yeah, so you can see where that would be useful, but maybe it doesn't make as much sense on the cannon. So let's turn that off. So I encourage you. We're gonna use these other things on cameras here in a bit, but make some auto firing turrets of some sort. Keep it, somewhat realistic. So like this cannon, probably the aim and only spins on the Y makes sense. You get a machine gun dangling from a bungee cord, then it can just flip all over the place and be auto tracked, whatever. All right, we did that. That was fun. I really need to add health into this level because so far all I've done is like add a whole bunch of things that want me dead. All right, I'm going to take my player who is perhaps overly set up. Yeah, so my prefab now has 4 weapons that unlock, but it's a good prefab, so we'll just use it. So just make sure that all my overrides are in place. I'm going to drag out another player. So we start over here, so we're going to make a new player, player 2. He'll start over here. Start him up in the air like we do, and he's got his own camera, and now we've got a problem, right? Which one do we render? Not a problem. This will be fun. We can do split screen gaming. I'm gonna wear I'll probably bring it in. Just want something golden. Like when I think split screen gaming, that's GoldenEye. 4 players, 1 screen, swearing. sometimes throwing Mountain Dew at somebody when they snipe you from across the map. Huh? Mario Kart. Mario Kart's another good 4-player split screen. We'll do split screen. So the first thing I need to do is just change the camera of my first player. So he's got a main camera, and we can see that it takes up the entire screen. But I can change the viewport rect here, and we're going to split this down the middle. So we'll make it 0.5. I think the other one is just already active. Yeah. So it just revealed the second player over here. Okay, so I'll turn the second player off. So this will be, we'll call him player 2. All right, and we'll just turn him off, and you can see what we've done here is we've got our first camera is now constrained to half the screen. Huh, how many cameras do we have in here? Why is it still being weird? Just those, okay. That little display doesn't update. All right, so player 1, let's go ahead and call him player 1. We changed his camera to only take half the screen, and we can change where that starts. So I can move it around by changing the X. Move it completely off screen for no reason at all. We'll leave that at 0, 0. We're using half the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock player 2. Now the fun thing is here, they all have the same tags on them right now. So it'll be a race for weapons. Weapons disappear as soon as one player picks them up. I'm going to do the same thing with his camera. Right now, he's displaying the whole thing, but behind. So I'm going to change him to also be half the width. Huh? However, yeah, then we got to slide him over so he starts at halfway across the viewport. And now we've got full 2-player gaming. So if I move the Y, well, that's too much. Yeah, so it starts, this is 0, 0 down here, and then as we move over and up by percentages of the screen, we got that. So now the only problem is both my players are going to activate all of my same input. So this will be fun, sort of. Try not to go cross-eyed playing this. So we're just moving around. Yeah, so I'm literally controlling both players with all the same inputs, and I think one's about to jump off the map. I don't like the other player's in a wall. Oh, we're almost in the same spot. Where's he at? So confused. Also, now I don't know who's going to die. Like, I mean, if one of them dies, the level's going to reset. Oh, okay, I can see player 2 from player 1 now. We all wander the same way. Come back. We wouldn't be friends. Yeah, we're going to find out really quick. And then we reset. Slowly. All right. Let's fix that. So I think probably the best way to do this is we're just going to make a copy of the player movement script and change the input values. Oh. All right, player 1 we'll leave alone. Player 2 is now going to move to something else. So we've got player movement. I guess I could change. I could use the same script and just make it a drop down and say which ones do you use. Yeah, and enum. We could do that. I'm gonna again, the stupid fastest way is I'm just gonna make a copy. So player movement. Just gonna add a component called player to movement. I even spelled it right. Something's gonna go wrong. There it is. Okay, so there's player to movement. It's compiling the empty script just to make sure we don't have goofiness. I'm going to remove this from player 2, and then we'll go. We don't have player movement up. I'm just going to copy it over. I want to blame streaming on YouTube on why that's chugging frame rate, just moving scripts around. All right, player 2 movement. So now it's the exact same script, and I can go into my manager and find out other things that I want to do. So right now we're using horizontal, vertical, and then the shift we'll have to change that up too. So I'm going to save this, and we're going to go back to Unity. And edit and project settings, and then I've got the input manager here. And these are all set up for us. Let me just see if I can. Huh. There it is. Okay, so there's a second horizontal here that looks like it's just getting joystick movement. And this is saying key or mouse. So actually the joystick, this might have worked, but I'm going to rename this guy to horizontal P2. And then we can change that to whatever. Do the same thing with vertical here. Call this vertical P2. And then the second jump here, I'm also going to rename to jump P2. So now they're distinct. Before, I basically had two aliases for this, and so it was taking from all of it. Horizontal was taking keyboard, it was taking joystick, anything. So I could have had a controller hooked up and the keyboard, and I don't know, I don't think it'd run double fast, but it would just get movement from all that. Shouldn't, but who knows. And so right now, positive button, this is set to joystick. Did someone, can I have your controller really quick? I'm just going to try this out. It's got Mario on it, so I guess it's good. Let's see that. Whoa. Excuse me while I break your controller. All right, so we've set those up. There's P2 on the ends of all those aliases. I'm going to go back to my script. Again, just type those in. So we're looking at horizontal P2, vertical P2, jump for P2. I didn't change shift yet. We'll deal with that later. This guy over here somewhere. Try this out. Oh, the mouse is still controlling both of them. But my keyboard input is now only doing this guy, and this guy standing still. Oh, the other guy's not the target that everyone else is going for. Yeah, that's fun. All right, so my controller movement is working with the stick here, and X on this controller is jump. but I haven't changed my mouse input yet, so I'll probably need to change that up. But we've got independent control. Which, oh, the mouse? No, because I've got a script on player two's main camera that's literally saying use the mouse. So that's another script I need to duplicate. Or we could, let's just go a step further in our project settings here. So we're using the controller, and that's fun. And we'll deal with the mouse later. But vertical P2, I can change this to something else. So I can say key or mouse button. And then let me see what's vertical positive on player one. Super cursed. But this is how you get to share your keyboard, like in that clip that Dr. Homer likes. Horizontal, we'll do L and J. And then I can just change up the jump to as well. And it'll be this guy. So I'm just using this /. The controller, great. You should just be able to rename those and reuse them. If you don't, I'm going to try two-handed, two-player on one keyboard. I don't know why. He's drifting. Oh, okay. So I didn't. That's the other thing about keyboard buttons. I didn't set a dead space. So this guy is like Tokyo drifting over here. Don't mind that cowboy. He's fine. He's cool. Duck in on this guy again. So right. So my regular horizontal, I've got a gravity of 3, a DET of 0.001, and a sensitivity. I think that's the DET is what I'm looking for. 001. Yeah, for whatever reason, my DET is. There we go. So I'm going to set that up. So that's just driftier. So you can change that, the driftiness of player two's keyboard stuff. I don't know why by default it's more. Was it 3 and 3 on the gravity and the sensitivity? I changed the fire on the wrong thing. Okay. So, just want to see these controls, and we'll move on to the next camera trick. What? My I and K are inverted now. Or were they to begin with, and I just didn't notice? Weirdness. Anyway, so back here. Let's change these. K and I. So we've got 2 players controlling independently. We can fix the other things we haven't done is we haven't fixed the fire button, and then we haven't fixed the mouse, and I don't even know if this second player can pick up stuff, but we'll fix that. So you need to have 2-player split screen. The other problem we've got that I'm not going to address right now is our HUD is still set up for 1 player. So we're getting the health of player 1, and all this other stuff is set up, and we don't have individual HUDs for each player. So that could be an interesting problem that we can fight later, and maybe we will on Thursday. But right now, I want to move on and add another camera, because why not, right? Yeah, we're going full 4-player split screen because we're stupid. I mean, we're adventurous. All right, I think Red Robot Boss here needs his own camera. So he's going to get a camera. As a child of the boss, I'll reset this. And it's in the ground. So now I'm just going to change the position. So it's childed to the Red Robot Boss. So he'll be player 3 eventually. X I don't want to change yet. Y, we're going to come up. Z, we're going to come back. So we're going to kind of just over the shoulder of this guy. Yeah, I kind of like that. Come back a little bit more. So we got a camera following the boss, because why not? And I can do the very same things with this. So instead of 1 on the height, we're going to go half on everything. We have to change up the other ones. So now I've got to adjust all my other cameras. So player 1 camera, we're going to keep him in the top corner. So he needs to be half height, so 0.5. And then he will move up to 0.5 there. Yeah. Yeah, because why not? Honestly. All right. So we've got the boss camera, and he's down in his corner. Player 2 is getting a full screen for I don't know why. So I'm going to change his camera up. He will also be at half height and up on the top. So now we just need something in the bottom corner. And this is just squares. We're just using rectangles, right? We're just putting stuff where we want to go. You can use masks on these and have a round camera display for something like a HUD or a mini map, or we could like do diagonal slices for each of these players. We could do a lot of weird stuff with some masking, but right now we're just using this. So he's got his, let's let the skull guy have the cowboy. Come on. Cowboy needs some respect. He's just trying to get to point B. He doesn't even know why. So we're going to add a camera to him. Change it up. Look at his feet, but that doesn't seem like fun. And I'm just used to the over-the-shoulder look. So we've got that camera. Following the cowboy, I'm going to do the same thing. So half height, half width, and halfway over on the screen. Boom, 4-player madness. Cowboy's just cruising. At least the boss has some animations on it, so that makes it a little more fun to look at. Except we've exposed ourselves. So it's not updating. Oh, actually, look at the health. Like this whole section's not updating right now. Yeah. Oh, and then the cannon got us. Why did we make that cannon? Yeah. You know what? I like this better than, say, Minecraft, where if you're playing 3 player, you just have a black screen in the last section. Have you done that? Yeah, play local 3-player Minecraft. Yeah, like just show me something. Show me something the other day. I've seen it do that, but yeah, but then lately it's been doing, I don't know. I just keep dying. All right, so this is chaotic enough. Let's go check our goals today. So we got a turret that tracks the players and fires at us. We've got full 4-player split screen. We can do, yeah, we'll just do the rest of this Thursday. So we'll do a mini map in level 2 and a security camera somewhere in some level. We think we already have a smarter nav mesh agent, so I don't know if we're going to get to this. We can get, what we're going to do on Thursday is get into world space cameras. So like literally you can see in this screen, I've got a big theater screen in the world tracking the cowboy. So I can be walking along, I can look up, I'm like, oh, okay. So security cameras, think, what's that game? Yeah. Yeah, oh, I knew someone was going to. Yeah, so like 5 nights. The other thing we can do is maybe give the player like a little phone that is his HUD. So he'll hit a button, he'll pull his phone up, and there's like the mini map or whatever. So we can do all kinds of cool stuff with world space canvases. We'll do that on Thursday. I think turrets that track us and 4-player madness is probably enough for today. Yeah? What's that? More? Okay, that's fine. No. It's like, no, don't make us do more, please. Yeah, I'm just ready for a golden button now. Does this still work? I think. No, because I turned the joystick off. So now I'm only using this. Still fix the camera. Can I go pick up a gun with player 2, please? I know no one's after me, but I still want to defend myself. Oops. Yeah, because that's what the pickup said to do. Okay. So player 2 is just a go-getter. No one's shooting at him, and he's just teleporting weapons to player 1. I haven't lived this long to actually see this guy shoot arrows at me over here. Why do those bullets suck? Oh, there I got him. Oh, look at that nice freeze frame with the light of the, yeah. Good death cam. And the cowboy got stuck for some reason. Ah! The skull got me. How did that happen? Wacky enough. Okay, just for giggles, I'm going to try and get this to go back to working with the joystick. Vertical P2, we want the joystick. Find jump for P2. Joystick. And if we could ever give this guy a gun, we would need him to fire as well. So change that up. I think I'm going to go try and change the camera to work off that second stick. I've got to create a whole new one. No, we'll do it later. All right.